On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Genome.
The complete set or sequence of genes of a human, animal, plant, or other living things.
Examples:
Sequencing of the human genome. Genome analyses. The human genome contains approximately 3 billion chemical base pairs.
Chromosome.
A long and string-like DNA molecule containing the part or all of the genetic material of an organism that controls what an animal or plant is like.
Examples:
A sex chromosome. The end of chromosome. Human females normally have 2 X chromosomes.
Zoom.
To move along very quickly, noun, the act of rising upward into the air.
Examples:
Zoom in on a photo. Zoom lens. He zoomed back in time to the soccer game.
Helix.
A 3-dimensional spiral shape or structure, particularly like that of a spring or a DNA molecule.
Examples:
Helix structure. Alpha helix. The DNA molecule is shaped like a double helix.
Structure.
The way of construction of something and the arrangement of its parts, or a complex thing constructed of many parts.
Examples:
The structure of a machine. Structure and function of the brain. The organizational structure of startups is often flat and straightforward.
Biochemical.
Relating to the chemical processes and substances that occur within living organisms.
Examples:
Biochemical reaction. Complex biochemical. Biochemical research is essential to understanding the complex chemical reactions in living organisms.
Pixel.
The smallest unit of an image that can be displayed or manipulated electronically, typically a point of light on a computer screen or in a digital image.
Examples:
Pixel density. Color pixels. The computer screen comprises thousands of tiny pixels that create the overall picture.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Sequence.
A series of related events, actions, numbers, etc., which have a particular order.
Examples:
The sequence of the seasons. The DNA sequence. We do move forward with those tasks in sequence next week.
Folk.
People in general, especially those of a particular group or type.
Examples:
Folk art. The folk songs of a particular district. Some seaweed was used as folk medicine in ancient times.
Massive.
Enormous amount, very heavy and solid.
Examples:
Massive amounts. Massive stars. The recent economic downturn has resulted in massive layoffs.
Parallel.
Being everywhere equidistant and not intersecting, of or relating to the simultaneous performance of multiple operations.
Examples:
A parallel case. Parallel processing. He walked a road parallel to the railroad.
Software.
A set of computer programs and associated documentation and data for doing particular computational jobs.
Examples:
Software architect. Copyrighted software. The company specializes in both hardware and software.
Assemble.
To collect in one place as a single group.
Examples:
Assemble your colleagues. Assemble a jigsaw puzzle. The president began to assemble an army.
Gigantic.
Extremely large.
Examples:
Gigantic proportions. Gigantic monsters. He was so hungry from the long journey that he had a gigantic appetite.
Modern.
Of or belonging to the present time or recent times.
Examples:
Modern poetry. Pre-modern agricultural society. Their headquarters are in a modern skyscraper.
Pace.
The speed at which someone or something moves, or the rate at which something happens or changes.
Examples:
At your own pace. The runner's pace. The economy is growing at a supercharged pace.
Equivalent.
Having the same value, quality, meaning, purpose, etc.
Examples:
Equivalent amounts. Equivalent in meaning. The European Central Bank is Europe's equivalent of the Federal Reserve.
Jovian.
Relating to Jupiter or its characteristics.
Examples:
Jovian satellites. Jovian planet. The Jovian moon Europa is believed to have an ocean beneath its icy surface.
Placement.
The act or process of putting something in a particular position or location, a temporary position or job in an organization.
Examples:
Placement test. Placement agency. The placement of the advertisement on the billboard was strategic in attracting a large audience.
Arch.
A curved structure with two supports that holds the weight of something above it, such as a bridge or the upper part of a building.
Examples:
The arch of a person's foot. An arch-shaped stone structure. The arch bears the weight of the overhead bridge.
Medical.
Relating to the treatment of illness or injuries, relating to the practice of medicine.
Examples:
A medical opinion. Temporary medical treatment. The medical team worked quickly to save the patient's life.
Typical.
Having the usual characteristics or traits of a specific group of things.
Examples:
Typical leader. Fairly typical symptoms. This artwork is typical of her work.
Triple.
Consisting of 3 items or people, 3 times as great or many.
Examples:
A triple mirror. Triple digits. His coach is a triple Olympic champion.
Quadruple.
To consist of 4 items or people, to become 4 times as great or many.
Examples:
Quadruple the amount. Quadruple the price of gold. His stock earnings quadrupled.
Foresee.
To perceive or predict, to anticipate or expect something to happen in the future.
Examples:
Foresee the consequences. Foresee challenges. I foresee a problem arising if we don't address this issue now.
Lab.
A workplace for the conduct of scientific research, a laboratory.
Examples:
Lab instrument. Medical lab. The Prime Minister will pay a courtesy visit to the Nobel laureate's lab.
Represent.
To speak, act, or be present on behalf of another person or group, to form or constitute.
Examples:
Represent by a diagram. The characters that represent numbers. We elected him to represent us at the international conference.
Institute.
An organization that has a specific purpose, particularly one dealing with science, education, or a particular profession. Verb, to initiate, introduce, or establish something.
Examples:
Institute a lawsuit. Research institutes. This region has many institutes offering higher education.
Absolutely.
Without restriction or limitation, completely or utterly.
Examples:
Absolutely against. Absolutely obsessed with the girl. I am absolutely opposed to his idea because of morality.
Medicinal.
Of or relating to the treatment or cure of disease.
Examples:
Medicinal chemistry. traditional medicinal. The medicinal properties of this herb have been known to help with various ailments.
Estrogen.
A category of female steroid sex hormone responsible for the development and regulation of the female reproductive system and secondary sex characteristics.
Examples:
estrogen receptor, estrogen-responsive breast cancer. The older woman also suffers bone loss caused by estrogen deficiency.
Receptor.
An organ having nerve endings that respond to stimulation such as heat or cold and makes the body react in a particular way.
Examples:
cellular receptor, receptor for HIV in humans. Hay fever occurs when a substance called histamine binds to receptors in the nose and eyes.
Breast.
Either of the two round soft parts of a woman's chest which secrete milk after childbirth.
Examples:
breast cancer, the mountain's breast. He grilled the breast meat of a chicken.
Cancer.
Abnormal growth of cells that can invade and destroy surrounding tissues and organs. A disease characterized by the uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells.
Examples:
cancer diagnosis, cancer research. Breast cancer is the most common type of cancer in women.
Surgery.
Medical treatment of injuries or diseases involving an incision with instruments and often removing or replacing some parts of the body, the branch of medical science that treats disease or injury by operative procedures.
Examples:
cardiac surgery, the professor of surgery. He had undergone heart surgery years before.
Chemotherapy.
The treatment of disease, particularly cancer, using special drugs that have a toxic effect on cancer cells, frequently used in conjunction with other therapies such as surgery and radiation.
Examples:
chemotherapy regimen, chemotherapy side effects. Many cancer patients undergo chemotherapy as a treatment option. Radiation. The energy that comes from a nuclear reaction in the form of rays, waves, or particles, and that can be hazardous to health.
Examples:
exposure to radiation, electromagnetic radiation. He tried every possible treatment, including chemotherapy and radiation therapy. Ovary. Either of the pair of organs in the female reproductive system that produces eggs, of a plant, the organ that bears the ovules of a flower. Examples: ovary atrophy, salted ovary of walleye pollock. They found ovary cancer in an early stage.
Unfortunately.
By bad luck, unluckily.
Examples:
unfortunately caught in a shower. Even more unfortunately. The treatments were done, but, unfortunately, were unsuccessful.
Acute.
Extremely sharp or severe.
Examples:
Acute pain. Acute triangle. The patient died from acute alcohol intoxication.
Myeloid.
Relating to or arising from bone marrow, pertaining to certain types of white blood cells, such as granulocytes and monocytes, which are formed in the bone marrow.
Examples:
Myeloid leukemia. Myeloid sarcoma. The myeloid cells in the bone marrow are responsible for producing red and white blood cells.
Leukemia.
A type of cancer that affects the blood and bone marrow, in which abnormal white blood cells are produced and grow uncontrollably.
Examples:
Childhood leukemia. Acute leukemia. The symptoms of leukemia may include fatigue, weakness, and fever.
Respiratory.
Relating to the organs and processes involved in breathing, such as the lungs and the act of inhaling and exhaling air.
Examples:
Respiratory failure. Alleviate respiratory ailments. Chronic respiratory disorders, such as asthma, can significantly impact a person's quality of life.
Bloodletting.
The act of intentionally cutting a person's skin or vein to remove blood once thought to cure various illnesses. Indiscriminate slaughter.
Examples:
Bloodletting device. Ethnic bloodletting. The doctor used bleaches for bloodletting, as they were thought to be more effective than cutting the skin.
Colleague.
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples:
Collaborate with colleagues. Former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Post-mortem.
Relating to or occurring after death, a post-mortem examination is a medical examination of a body after death to determine the cause of death or to study the effects of a disease or medical treatment.
Examples:
Post-mortem findings. Post-mortem analysis. The medical examiner performed a post-mortem examination to determine the cause of death.
Marrow.
A soft, fatty, vascular substance in the cavities of bones, in which blood cells are produced, the choicest or most essential part of some idea or experience.
Examples:
The marrow of a speech. Vegetable marrow. The soup was made with bone marrow, giving it a rich and savory flavor.
Delete.
To remove something, especially that has been written, to wipe out digitally or magnetically recorded information.
Examples:
Delete a file. Delete this modification. Highlight the sentences that you want to delete.
Deleterious.
Causing harm, damage, or injury, having a detrimental or destructive effect.
Examples:
Deleterious actions. Deleterious impact. Smoking has deleterious effects on your health, especially your lungs.
Mutation.
The way in which genes of a person, plant, animal, or other organism change and produce permanent differences.
Examples:
Mutation of DNA. Hereditary mutation. Radiation often promotes genetic mutations in plants and animals.
Severe.
Extremely serious or bad in feeling, manner, or strict and harsh, extremely strong or vigorous.
Examples:
Severe heat. A severe case of pneumonia. The senator received severe criticism from his opponent.
Profound.
Extremely great, sensed or experienced very strongly, displaying a high level of knowledge or comprehension.
Examples:
A profound book. The profound depths of the sea. My mother's illness had a profound impact on us all.
Implication.
Something that is inferred or indirectly stated, the act or fact of being involved in something.
Examples:
The implication in a crime. The implication of a word. His poem has a very significant implication.
Genetic.
Of or relating to genes, equals parts of the DNA in cells, or the science of genes.
Examples:
Have genetic testing. A genetic disorder. Understanding protein folding is a vital step in deciphering the genetic code.
Introduction.
A preliminary explanation or remarks given before the start of a text, performance, or event, the act of bringing something new into existence or introducing something to a wider audience or new market.
Examples:
Introduction education. Self-introduction. The introduction to the new class was informative and engaging.
Twin.
Either of two children born at the same time from the same mother.
Examples:
A twin lens camera. A twin room. Its twin brothers are difficult to tell apart except for their parents.
Diagnose.
To determine or distinguish the nature of a problem or an illness through a careful analysis.
Examples:
Diagnose the problem. Diagnose with CT scans. This device is used to diagnose brain cancer and other tumors.
Cerebral.
Relating to the brain or intellect, intellectual or studious rather than emotional or physical.
Examples:
Cerebral palsy. Cerebral cortex. The patient experienced a cerebral hemorrhage and required surgery.
Palsy.
A condition characterized by the loss or impairment of movement or sensation due to damage or disease affecting the nervous system, paralysis or weakness.
Examples:
Muscle palsy, cerebral palsy. Some people with Parkinson's disease may experience tremors and palsy in their limbs.
Brave.
Showing courage or fearlessness in the face of danger, difficulty, or adversity.
Examples:
Brave soldier, brave decision. The brave firefighter rescued the family from the burning building.
Symptom.
Any sensation or change in body or mind that is experienced by a patient and is associated with a particular disease.
Examples:
Symptoms of low testosterone, neurotic symptoms. The patient displays a symptom of a side effect.
Heroic.
Courageous and daring, having or displaying qualities appropriate for legendary figures, that is, courage and daring.
Examples:
A heroic poem, heroic explorers. The heroic actions of individuals are now easily spread worldwide by SNS.
Convince.
To persuade someone or make someone believe that something is true.
Examples:
Convince her to go with us. Convince an opponent. I am considering what I should do to convince him.
Communal.
Belonging to or used by a group rather than individuals, for common use.
Examples:
Communal swimming pool. Communal combination of funds. Communal elections were held in several European countries.
Responsive.
Quick to respond or react to something.
Examples:
Responsive to affection. Responsive customer service. The responsive website design allows for easy navigation on any device.
Dystonia.
A neurological disorder characterized by involuntary muscle contractions that cause twisting, repetitive movements, or abnormal postures.
Examples:
Dystonia symptoms. Hereditary dystonia. Her diagnosis of cervical dystonia explained her neck's unusual tilting and turning.
Improve.
To make or become better.
Examples:
Improve a process. Improve the test score. We want to improve ties between our two countries.
Asymptomatic.
Not experiencing or exhibiting any symptoms of a particular disease or condition, even though the individual may be infected or affected by it.
Examples:
Asymptomatic carrier. Asymptomatic infection. The study showed that 1/3 of infected individuals could remain asymptomatic throughout the disease.
Signify.
To indicate, represent, or communicate something, especially an idea or concept, often through a symbol, gesture, or word.
Examples.
Signify importance. Actions that signify agreement. The red lights on the dashboard signify that the car needs maintenance.
Responsible.
Answerable or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management.
Examples.
Responsible action. Responsible for customer service. She's a responsible pet owner who ensures her dog gets enough exercise and a healthy diet.
Serotonin.
A neurotransmitter equals a chemical that carries nerve impulses involved in, example, sleep, emotion, and memory.
Examples.
Serotonin drug. Serotonin levels. The medicine works by boosting serotonin levels in the brain.
Precursor.
A person or thing that comes before another of the same kind and that contributes to or influences its growth.
Examples.
Precursor cell. Precursor to serotonin. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides are the primary precursors of acid rain.
Norm.
Something that is regarded as usual, typical, or standard.
Examples.
Norm of action. Cultural norm. The systems we have developed has accepted as industry norms.
Nick.
A small cut, notch, or indentation in a surface or an edge.
Examples.
A nick on the fender of a car. Nick on my hand. The interviewer arrived in a nick of time.
Squirt.
To eject or discharge with force in a fast stream or jet, to spray or sprinkle with a liquid or substance.
Examples.
Squirt water. Squirt oil. She squirted the ketchup onto her fries before taking a bite.
Distend.
To expand, inflate, or stretch out in all directions, especially as a result of internal pressure or force, to swell or bulge out of shape.
Examples.
Distend the veins. Distend balloon. Eating too much can distend your stomach and cause discomfort.
Belly.
The front part of the body below the chest, containing the stomach and bowels, the rounded or curved part of an object, such as a ship or aircraft.
Examples.
The belly of the ship. With an empty belly. She had a tattoo just above her belly button.
Famine.
A severe shortage of food, often caused by drought, war, or economic reasons.
Examples:
famine relief, coal famine. The severe famine caused by the drought has left many people without food.
Victim:
A person who has been harmed, injured, or otherwise negatively affected by a particular action, circumstance, or event.
Examples:
Victim support, victim compensation. The victim of the crime deserves justice and support to recover from the trauma.
Intestine:
A long, tube-like organ in the digestive system that is responsible for absorbing nutrients from food and eliminating waste products.
Examples:
Large intestine, intestine wall. The small intestine is responsible for absorbing most of the nutrients from food.
Feces:
Waste matter eliminated from the bowels, excrement.
Examples:
Feces sample, human feces. Proper disposal of feces is essential for maintaining public health and sanitation.
Spill:
To cause or allow liquid to run or flow over the edge of its container by accident.
Examples:
Spill a bit of wine. Spill my heart. He was determined to spill everything.
Gut:
The long tube in the body of a person or animal through which food passes when it leaves the stomach, the mental strength or bravery required to do something difficult or unpleasant.
Examples:
The blind gut. Gut feelings. He told me a gut-wrenching truth about my parents' death.
Pray:
To make a request or petition to a higher power, especially in the form of a respectful or humble request.
Examples:
Pray devoutly. Pray for rain. She closed her eyes and prayed for strength to overcome difficult times.
Pediatrics:
The branch of medicine that deals with the care and treatment of children.
Examples:
Pediatrics department. Pediatrics clinic. I am studying pediatrics in medical school because I love working with children.
Background:
The details of a person's social heritage, such as family, vocational or educational experience, past information that is essential to understanding a situation or problem.
Examples:
A background color. A criminal background. The company's hiring criteria emphasize personality, not a person's background.
Clinical:
Of or relating to the examination and treatment of patients rather than theoretical or laboratory studies.
Examples:
Clinical surgery. Participate in clinical trials. She received special clinical training at the hospital.
Genetics:
The branch of biology that studies genes, genetic variation, and heredity in organisms.
Examples:
The science of genetics. Genetics discrimination. He is a specialist in the genetics of aging.
Immunology.
The branch of medical science that deals with the immune system of the body and its functions, including the body's response to foreign substances such as viruses and bacteria. It also involves the study of immunodeficiencies, autoimmune diseases, and immunotherapies.
Examples:
Immunology research. Immunology laboratory. Recent advances in immunology have shown promise in the fight against cancer.
Reaction.
A response that reveals a person's feelings or attitude. In chemistry, a process in which one or more substances are changed into others.
Examples:
Chemical reaction. Trigger a reaction. There was a chemical reaction of the lime with the groundwater.
Essentially.
Relating to the essential features or concepts of anything.
Examples:
Essentially correct. Become essentially same. Essentially, a society is an organism.
Transplant.
To move or transfer something from one place or person to another, to take living tissue or an organ from one person, animal, part of the body, etc., and put it into or onto another.
Examples:
Transplant a heart. Transplant my family to America. He tried to transplant the seedling into a larger pot.
Undertake.
To do or begin to do something, such as an enterprise or responsibility.
Examples:
Undertake an enterprise. Undertake routine duties. Young people in this country should undertake military duties.
Grueling.
Extremely tiring or demanding great effort, especially with long duration or intensity.
Examples:
Grueling process. A grueling campaign. The marathon was a grueling test of endurance.
Recover.
To return to a former condition, health, mind, or strength.
Examples:
Recover a loss. Recover approval ratings. She is still recovering from a shot to her shoulder.
Steak.
A thin slice of meat, typically beef, grilled or fried and served as a main dish.
Examples:
Steak dinner. Salmon steak. He ordered a rare steak for dinner.
Sauce.
A liquid or semi-solid food served on or used in preparing other foods.
Examples:
A flavorful sauce. Soy sauce. The pasta dish was served with a rich tomato sauce.
Prospect.
The possibility or likelihood of something happening or being successful. A person or thing that is likely to succeed or become popular. A potential customer or client. Verb, to explore for useful or valuable things or substances, such as minerals.
Examples:
Prospect for gold. Job prospects. The prospect of starting a new business can be both exciting and daunting.
Universal.
Existing or affecting everywhere or everyone.
Examples:
Universal life. Principles of universal design. The picture earned near universal acclaim from critics.
Fantastic.
Extremely good, excellent.
Examples:
A fantastic dress. Absolutely fantastic event. The new amusement park ride was fantastic, with twists, turns, and drops that left riders screaming with excitement.
Footprint.
A mark of a foot, shoe, or animal's foot left on a surface.
Examples:
Footprints in the snow. The footprints of an earlier civilization. We choose transportation that has a smaller carbon footprint.
Planet.
Any of the 9 large celestial bodies that circle in the solar system, any celestial body that revolves around a star.
Examples:
Planet like the Earth. Save the planet. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun.
Wheat.
A cereal plant that is the most important kind grown in temperate countries, the grain of which is ground to make flour for bread, pasta, pastry, etc.
Examples:
Harvesting wheat. Wheat crop. The farmer grew wheat on his land.
Soybean.
A legume crop widely cultivated for its nutritious seeds, often ground into meal or pressed into oil for food products, with other uses including animal feed, fuel, and industrial applications.
Examples:
Soybean oil. Soybean production. The farmer harvested his soybean crop and took it to market.
Crop.
A plant that is cultivated in large amounts, particularly for food.
Examples:
Crop field. Crop herbicide. Sow early for an early crop.
Tolerant.
Accepting different views, beliefs, or practices without judgment or interference.
Examples:
A tolerant teacher. Tolerant of his failure. She was known for her tolerant attitude toward different cultures.
Drought.
A long period of time during which there is very little or no rain, leading to a shortage of water and often causing damage to crops and other vegetation. Periods of drought. Drought conditions. The region has been experiencing a severe drought, leading to water shortages and crop failures.
Flood.
A large amount of water flowing beyond its normal limits, an overwhelming number or amount.
Examples:
Flood advisory. A flood of questions. These heavy rains caused flash floods on several islands.
Pest.
A destructive insect or other animals that are harmful to crops, animals, or humans, someone or something that is annoying or troublesome.
Examples:
Pest control. A pest of bean plants. The gardener used natural methods to keep pests away from her plants.
Pesticide.
A substance used for preventing, destroying, repelling, or mitigating any pest.
Examples:
Pesticide application. Pesticide residue. The farmer sprayed pesticide on his crops to protect them from insects.
Genetically.
In a way that relates to or is produced by genes, equals the units in the cells of a living thing received by an animal or plant from its parents, or heredity.
Examples:
Genetically inherited traits. Genetically manipulated plant. The genetically modified crops were resistant to pests and required less water.
Modify.
To change something slightly, such as a plan, option, law, etc., especially to make it more suitable for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Genetically modify food. Modify my behavior. We use adverbs to modify verbs and adjectives.
Volunteer.
A person who performs or offers to perform a job or service without being paid for or forced to do.
Examples:
Seek volunteers. My volunteer work. The teachers make full use of volunteer assistance.
Typewriter.
A mechanical device used for writing, consisting of type keys that, when pressed, imprint ink onto paper or other writing material, mainly used before modern computers, printers, and word processors took over.
Examples:
Typewriter keys. Electronic typewriter. I found an old typewriter at a thrift store and used it to write my novel.
Staple.
Important, basic, or essential to something or someone, forming an integral part of a particular diet or industry.
Examples:
Staple commodities. Staple ingredient. Rice is a staple food in many Asian countries.
Desktop.
A flat working surface or table that is usually placed on top of a desk, typically used for a computer or other work-related activities.
Examples:
Desktop software. Desktop wallpaper. I need to upgrade my desktop computer since it's become quite slow.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal, a systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective, a method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement, decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Ultimate.
Furthest or highest in degree or order.
Examples:
The ultimate goal in life. The ultimate luxury. Management must take ultimate responsibility for the accident.
Disrupt.
To prevent or stop something, especially an event, activity, or process, from continuing in the usual way by causing a problem or disturbance.
Examples:
Disrupt a well-ordered condition. Disrupt sleep. I'm so sorry to disrupt you when you're pretty busy.
Bob.
To move up and down quickly and repeatedly, often in a short, jerky motion, to cut, trim, or shorten hair, especially by repeatedly snipping with scissors. Noun, a hairstyle in which the hair is cut short and even all around, usually above the shoulders.
Examples:
Bob a quick curtsy. Bob on the surface of the water. I need to bob my head to the beat of the music. Invention. The creation of a new device or process resulting from study and experimentation, the act of inventing.
Examples:
The invention of new techniques. Common invention. Necessity is the mother of invention. Ethernet. A standardized system for connecting computers and other devices in a local area network, LAN, which enables the transmission of data over cables using a set of protocols.
Examples:
Ethernet router. Ethernet port. We need to upgrade our Ethernet cables for faster internet speeds. Fundamental. Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected. Examples: Fundamental education. Fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics. Suddenly. Quickly and unexpectedly. Examples: Suddenly attacked by an enemy. Die suddenly. Who answers suddenly knows little. .com. A company or business that primarily operates on the internet or has a web-based presence, particularly during the late 1990s and early 2000s when the internet was a new and rapidly growing industry. Examples: Successful.com. .com millionaire. The dot-com boom of the late 1990s changed the landscape of the tech industry forever.
Bubble.
A thin, round, and often transparent mass of gas that is surrounded by a thin layer of liquid, a state of economic or social prosperity that is unsustainable and eventually collapses.
Examples:
Bubble in the champagne glass. Economic bubble. Many people worry that the current real estate market is a bubble that could burst soon.
Rescue.
To save someone or something from a dangerous or difficult situation.
Examples:
Rescue a dying dog. Rescue a company from bankruptcy. The fire department arrived just in time to rescue the family from the burning building.
Revolution.
A large-scale attempt to overthrow the government of a country, often using violence or war.
Examples:
Beginning of the Industrial Revolution. A political revolution. The revolution by the citizen resulted in a redistribution of wealth.
Dot.
A very small circular mark, especially one that is printed.
Examples:
Connecting the dots. Dot blot method. The wallpaper had a pattern of pink dots on a white surface.
Individual.
A single person or thing, as distinct from a group.
Examples:
A private individual. Individual freedom. As an individual, he had the right to make his own decisions and live his life as he saw fit.
Insure.
To provide coverage in the event of loss or damage.
Examples:
Insure my house against fire. Ensure domestic tranquility. I will insure my car before I go on a road trip.
Consume.
To spend something, especially fuel, energy, or time, in a large amount.
Examples:
Consume a large of alcohol. Consume electricity. A smaller car will consume less fuel.
Flourish.
To grow or develop vigorously or successfully.
Examples:
Flourish economically. Flourish worldwide. The Ottoman Empire flourished for over 5 centuries.
Compatible.
Capable of coexisting or working together without conflict or inconsistency, harmonious or well-matched.
Examples:
Fully compatible. Compatible with HTML5. The new software is not compatible with the old operating system, causing compatibility issues and errors.
Smartphone.
A mobile phone that functions as a computer and connects to the internet.
Examples:
Smartphone app developer. Smartphone addict. Internet traffic volumes have increased significantly with the advent of smartphones.
App.
Abbreviation for application, software designed to run on smartphones and other mobile devices or inside a web browser on a PC.
Examples:
Killer app. Cannot log into the app. The discovery of a critical bug caused the company to delay the app's release.
Personalize.
To make something or an experience specific to an individual or group, often through adding personal details or tailoring it to their preferences or needs. To add personal details or information to something.
Examples:
Personalize social media profile. Personalize my workspace. I like to personalize my phone case with a picture of my dog.
Mass.
A large amount of a substance with no definite shape or form, a large number of people or things grouped or crowded together.
Examples:
A mass of molten rock. Critical mass. The mass of people who do not own property is politically impotent.
Allele.
Any of the alternative forms of a gene that can occupy a given chromosomal location.
Examples:
The allele in a pair. Inherit one allele. Environmental factors can also influence the expression of alleles, a phenomenon known as epigenetics.
Cheat.
To act dishonestly or unfairly to gain an advantage or to deceive someone, to break the rules or laws.
Examples:
Cheat on my taxes. Cheat in a game. Even though he knew it was wrong, he cheated on the exam.
Swab.
A small piece of soft material used by a doctor, nurse, etc. for cleaning a cut or taking a sample from somebody's body for testing. Verb, apply, usually a liquid, to a surface.
Examples:
Alcohol swab. Cotton swab. He took a swab of his ear.
Elect.
To choose someone for a specific position by voting for them, to decide or choose to do something.
Examples:
Elect the school board. Elect death. Every 5 years, the provincial governors are elected.
President.
The leader of a republic, for example, the U.S., the person in charge of the organization, such as a company, university, club, etc.
Examples:
President Emeritus. Vice President for Finance. The club president does not have absolute power.
Cardiomyopathy.
A disease of the heart muscle that often leads to heart failure, irregular heartbeats, and other serious cardiovascular issues.
Examples:
Cardiomyopathy with arrhythmia. Idiopathic cardiomyopathy. The doctor diagnosed the patient with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy.
Candidate.
A person who is seeking or being considered for some kind of position, title, honor, or award, a job applicant.
Examples:
Candidate selection. PhD candidate. The candidate's platform focused on healthcare reform and reducing income inequality.
Release.
To set free or allow to escape from confinement.
Examples:
Release a prisoner. Release CO2 into the air. The animal rights group worked to release the dolphins back into the wild.
Competitor.
A person who participates in a sporting contest, a person or organization that competes with others, particularly in business.
Examples:
Beat competitor offer. Domestic competitor. The gap between the company and its competitors has widened.
Relate.
To establish a connection or association between two or more things, to narrate or tell about an event, experience, or relationship, to empathize or feel sympathy with someone or something.
Examples:
Relate a story. Relate a message. He tried to relate his experience to the group, but they couldn't understand.
Cousin.
The child of your aunt or uncle.
Examples:
Cross-cousin marriage. Cousin's family. I used to play with my younger male cousins when I was a little girl.
Association.
A people or groups of people who have joined in a single organization together for a particular purpose, a social or business connection or relationship.
Examples:
Word associations. A scholarship association. His membership in the association provided him with numerous benefits.
Mutual.
Common to or shared by two or more parties.
Examples:
Share of a mutual fund. Mutual efforts. They cooperated for their mutual benefit.
Consent.
Permission or agreement to do something, especially given by somebody in authority.
Examples:
Consent for surgery. Give silent consent. She gave her consent to the company's proposal.
Viola.
A stringed instrument of the violin family, slightly larger than a violin and tuned a fifth lower.
Examples:
Viola section. Pick up a viola. She had been playing the viola for over a decade.
Clan.
A group of families united by actual or perceived kinship and descent, especially in Scotland.
Examples:
Clan society. Tribal clan. This clan saved people from a world full of violence.
Relation.
The way two persons or groups of people feel and act toward one another.
Examples:
Relation between cause and effect. Relation of inclusion. The industrial relations laws were passed with little to no alteration.
Wield.
To possess and exercise power, authority, etc.
Examples:
Wield her authority. Wield a bad influence. They wielded enormous power and influence.
Humankind.
The whole of the living human inhabitants of the earth.
Examples:
Humankind as a species. History of humankind. On the geological timescale, humankind has existed for a brief moment.
Urge.
To spur on or encourage someone, especially by cheers and shouts. Noun, a strong desire or impulse, especially one that is difficult to control or resist.
Examples:
Urge a total ban. A sexual urge. The lobbyist urged Congress not to approve the measure.
Influence.
The ability to affect someone's or something's character, growth, or behavior, or the effect itself.
Examples:
Influence a child's future. Influence the daily life. The former emperor had a particular influence even after he abdicated.